Hello, I'm Carrie Cordy. It is Wednesday, August 2nd, 2017. Good Lord. So there's a lot I would really want to talk about, but with the way I go, don't know if I'll even get to it. First off, I was just watching a video about, it was some conservative bullshit about transgender in the military, and some stupid blonde bimbo in some really expensive car was adequately using big words, and she kind of sounded smart, so I don't want to put across that somebody pretty is just fucking stupid. But anyway, this woman, one of her main points was that somebody high up in the military was saying that the care and hormones and surgery that trans people need would make them less able to fight because of some recovery period. Well, it's like, really? If that's the case, we shouldn't, appendix shouldn't be brought out. We shouldn't fix broken arms because, they might not be able to serve in a full capacity, and we can't have this recovery time. So, And another guy in this video was talking about how it's not a big deal because all sorts of people can't serve in the military. He brings up asthma. And it's like, sorry, dude, you can serve in the military with asthma. It just can't be a severe case of it. There is always the exception to the rule. So, I'm watching this, and, some point that a lot of people make is that the money involved is just horrendous. But let's look at this from another point of view. What about the people who can't get the diabetes supplies that they need or catheters that they need? What about those people? Being trans is a lightning rod. We experience the same bullshit everybody else does, but it's on a huge magnified level. It does not mean we are better people. It does not mean that your struggles are less than mine or ours. Our struggles are as hard as each of us can deal with. And that is the sheer perfection of God's entire creation, is a recognition we are all different and we have our own levels of bullshit we need to deal with and grow from. And it is so easy to look at somebody and say, I am better than you, my struggle was harder. You have to recognize those other people's struggle was important. It pisses me off that the sheer lack of compassion and forgiveness in this world is looked at as a weakness. There's a clip of Donald Trump that he talks about how he doesn't understand why people seek forgiveness from God or even have compassion. You look at the clips where he's praising God, and it is half-hearted. You can look into his eyes and see he doesn't mean it. And, the whole political spectrum is the same problem in this culture. When the elections were going on, the Democrats lost it because they are playing the game of you have earned it. They have their lines that this person is going to be our running candidate. And Trump came in and he's just speaking all this bullshit. And he's saying everything you should not say as a politician. People reacted to that. I don't think everybody understands what they voted for, and it's hard to look at all the information, especially when somebody you're getting it from irritates the hell out of you. I can't fucking stand Stephen Colbert. I think he's a jackass that panders to the crowd. But that doesn't mean he doesn't give valuable insight. I will watch him, but not regularly. I won't go out of my way for it. In fact, I can't stand any show that panders to a cheering crowd, and the audio level of the cheering crowd is far above what the host or whoever's in front is talking about. They do this on purpose. It is a crowd mentality. I've quoted it before, but go read Gustave Le Bon's book, The Crowd. It was published in, I think it was 1894, and it's fascinating. But everything he says about women is complete bullshit, but that was the culture of the time. So that's something that you need to look at with the grain of salt, to use the cliche. This is something I'm really, really passionate about. And I'm standing up. I have heard over the last 10 years people saying, I'm waiting for somebody to stand up. Somebody's got to stand up. I'm goddamn standing up right now. I will lose everything. I don't fucking care. I have played their game so goddamn long and have the same thing happen over and over and over again, and I had to lose everything numerous times before it finally fucking set in. The time to stop is now. And getting back to my point about the politicians, because they got Hillary Clinton in there, which is just a robot that has played the game so long, she's just a talking face. That's it. She has no fucking ideas of her own. She's just a goddamn robot. And they should have gone with somebody like Bernie Sanders, which I didn't agree with, but the fact that he was using politics and saying things different, I gave him respect for that. That's hard fucking shit when you played that game. And I'm getting into that world now that I'm becoming an activist for human rights. I am transgender. I will use that as an example because that is my life and that is my perspective. People can take whatever meaning they want from that. I will not stop people from doing whatever the fuck they want to do. Because that ain't right. There should be consequences for people that deliberately hurt others. There should be different consequences for people that don't do it deliberately. Prisons are bullshit. Let's fix the problems. Let's look at the core of it, rather than look at the action and try to cure the sneeze, when what we've got is a flesh-eating bacteria. The sneeze doesn't fucking matter anymore. And it never, ever, ever did. The other thing I want to talk to is I promised Misty. I worked with her, and in my video where I pled for help and compassion, and I think that's even the title, something like that. And I really glazed over the fact that my pleas when I was over IQF fell on deaf ears. I need to clarify that because the deaf ears that this fell on was all members of management above Misty. She was overwhelmed. She was a good person. I honestly don't think she handled everything as well as she could have. Disciplining men in that setting is very difficult, and as women, we have to be extra careful. It's just the fucking way it is, and it shouldn't be. So the only reason that Hillary Clinton got elected is because everybody couldn't stop. And when it was Hillary Clinton against Donald Trump, the entire country should have stopped and said, we need new candidates. In Australia, there's a space on the ballot that says none, neither, something to that effect. And if the majority of the people vote for this, they have to get new candidates and run and have the elections within 3 months. Why doesn't this country have that? I've never voted for president because I don't want to choose the lesser of two evils. The point of voting is to get somebody in office that accurately represents my point of view. And my point of view is of compassion, not money, not greed, not power. Fuck all of those things. Fuck them. I don't care anymore. And I'm glad that I did at one point, because that was a valuable lesson. But there's no way I should be judged upon that past perspective alone. The growth needs to be recognized. The hardest decisions in this life is putting your daily security at risk, which means your monthly security, your yearly security, the security of your life. Those securities don't matter. They never did. We all die. How do you live?